Thursday, September 10th, 2015. I am Dan Rubin. This is the Bucknuts Morning 5 and Change. It's Thursday, so that can mean only one thing, the appearance of Steve Wiltfong, Director of Recruiting for 24/7 Sports. Steve, how are you this fine morning?
Good morning, Daniel. How's everything going on your end, my friend?
Very good. Just a little inside Bucknuts here. Your fearless recruiting expert is about to get on a flight with a small child, and he's very stressed out. So let's be nice to Steve today. This is not going to be a BM25. It'll be more like a BM5-ish plus. So in light of Steve's obligations, we're going to get rolling here. And Steve, one name I've been very excited about, if you had listened to me talk to Bill over the last 8 or 9 months, I've said I think this guy is going to be a Buckeye. I'm starting to see some crystal balls flip from some people in southern spots. Benjamin Victor, the receiver out of Coconut Creek, I believe it is, in Florida. What is your vibe on the, I believe he's the number 2 receiver in the country.
Yeah, big-time player, big-time target for the Buckeyes, has been the entire process, and he has felt like it. Coach Zach Smith and the Ohio State coaching staff has done a great job of making Benjamin Victor feel like the priority that he is for Ohio State. He's obviously always had strong feelings for Ohio State. He's visited numerous times. Keeps in regular touch and has always kept Ohio State amongst his favorites. I saw those same crystal balls, Daniel, so I made a couple calls myself to check in and see what the vibe of the situation was on the Ohio State side. And I think that the Buckeyes are confident that they're going to land Benjamin Victor, but I don't think that anyone inside the Woody, is counting them in the class right now. But I think that everything is going very well. I think Ohio State thinks they have a great shot to land this young man, and maybe they feel better than they have at any point in the process, but they've always felt like they were in it, and I think that Ohio State feels good about where they're at with Benjamin Victor.
What is Victor's timetable? Is he a hat dance all-star game guy?
I'm not. His personality, I could see him just doing it. I'm sorry if he's been quoted saying he's going to announce at the Army game, but I haven't seen that. He is playing in the U.S. Army All-American Bowl, but I haven't seen that he's going to announce at the game. But I think he'll just do it when he's ready. He almost announced once, and at that time I think everyone thought he was going to go to Florida, but he's pulled back and dove back into the process, and obviously been a good thing for Ohio State. But even if he had committed to Florida, I think most people thought he would still take officials, including Ohio State.
Just real quickly, his ranking is pretty lofty from what you've seen. It's justified?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first of all, he's got the best ball skills in America at the position. Just a smooth player, knows how to get open, and just catches everything. He's a guy that'll bring consistency to any passing game wherever he goes.
That's sweet. And he's about 6'2", I believe, or a little taller, so that's nice.
Very long.
Another name,
very long.
Yeah. Another name we've talked about routinely here, it seems like defensive tackles, Antwuan Jackson, defensive tackle out of Georgia. We've heard forever it's Auburn or Ohio State, to the point where the kid's been quoted on that so many times. It's almost silly. What's your vibe down the stretch here?
Well, I just think that it's exciting that he's coming back to campus because he's been to Auburn so many times, and I asked Keith Niebuhr, our Auburn insider, who lives down in Georgia in the Atlanta area, what he thought last week after Auburn landed a 5-star defensive lineman, and he just said he's hearing it's really close. And so there's absolutely no question that Ohio State's got a chance to land this top 100 talent, and Antwuan was the alpha dog of the Atlanta Nike camp I covered earlier this spring that had all those 5-star defensive linemen competing in it. Antwuan was a guy that kind of stole the show that day in a loaded camp. So fantastic player. Buckeyes have a great shot to land him. Another opportunity to get him to feel even more comfortable with Larry Johnson and Coach Ash and Coach Meyer and Coach Marotti and the Ohio State program.
Yeah, it wasn't specific that Jackson is expected to visit this weekend for the Hawaii game, so that's what Steve was referring to there. We're definitely looking forward to that. Steve, we had a discussion off the air about Ohio State. There's so much national chatter about them being the deepest team and having no weaknesses. Down the line, though, I don't know if it's a weakness, but the class of 2017, there is a need.
Yeah, I think it's going to be running back because after Ezekiel Elliott leaves early, there's going to be no proven backs on the roster. And, yeah, there's going to be some young, talented guys. But it's a position where Ohio State's actually going to have a question mark going into next fall. We'll see what Michael Weber looks like when he comes back from injury. I do think he's got a shot to be the guy and have a great career in Columbus. And hopefully he'll show flashes of that as a true freshman when he comes back from injury. But right now, Ohio State, I think that they're going to, they would have tried to do this anyway, but I think there's a little bit of an emphasis on trying to land the best running back in the country for them. And I'm talking about a guy that can be that in-between-the-tackles guy, a guy that can attempt to be the ferocious blocker that elite Ezekiel Elliott is. Ohio State, they certainly have a lot of speed, and they certainly have a lot of wrinkles within their offense where they can do so many different things to maybe overcome lack of an in-between-the-tackles running back if they have to. But I think that's something that that they're really going to zero in on in 2017 is making sure that they have a guy in that class that can come in and push Kareem Walker and push Michael Weber and amongst that three, because we've seen true freshmen come into college football and make an impact between that threesome right there of Kareem, Michael Weber, and the unknown guy right now. They're going to need someone to fill the void down the road for Ezekiel Elliott.
There you have it, people. Every Thursday, Steve Wiltfong. Maybe not as long today as usual, but we appreciate it. Steve, have a safe flight.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks, everybody.